Respected Srimati Rani Usha Raje Sindhya ji, respected Srimati Meera Kumar, Srimati Gauri Ishwaran, Mr. Dave Shepherd, Mr. Shiv Kemka, respected and distinguished guests, teachers, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Shiv Kemka sprang a surprise to me in the afternoon. He said, "You have to speak in today evening." I'm delighted. I got the honor and pleasure. But I'll be running through a little bit of economics in the process because I feel India is moving through a very, very exciting phase. In fact, the coming decade, maybe if we work hard, the next 3 decades will belong to India. Indian GDP is 8.42 trillion, and it's the largest democracy in the world. It's the fastest growing economy, major economy in the world. In fact, in the last year, last fiscal, we are number 1 in attracting FDI. We are also number 1 in overall GDP growth rate. It's the 3rd largest economy in PPP terms, 7th largest economy by nominal GDP, 7th largest country by area. I have a reason why I'm taking this, the economic aspects as the prime factor for my speech today. Because back in the 2000s, early 2000s, even a little earlier, around 97, 98, 99, 2000, we had a glorious opportunity. India could have grown fantastically well in the world spectrum. But we lost a major opportunity. We lost because we didn't wake up to the opportunities. We let go the opportunities and China took over. The same situation is there today. India is growing at 7.6%. In fact, last, if you see the 16 years, India has steadily grown above 5% all the 16 years. No other country in the world other than China has crossed 6%. And India in the last about 3 years, it has almost touched 8%. And this is something which we are likely to sustain for a number of years to come. By 2020, India will have the youngest population in the world. 28 years would be our average age. 1 billion people, 28 years. What we can do to this world. Amazing things we can do. And by 2030, 25% of the world's working, productive workforce will be Indians. So this is a glorious opportunity. If we miss this bus, history will not forgive us. So this is the chance we must all get. India is the only country which is growing very fast, and we have whereas rest of the world is really sluggish at 3.5%. And this will last for at least next 4 to 5 years. This is the time India has to wake up and seize opportunity. And our Prime Minister is right on track with his Make in India policy, which is doing wonders for the country. Now, I'll just quickly run through as fast as I can about Andhra Pradesh, the state where I come from. I have a reason because we want every state in India to be as good as Andhra Pradesh, if not better. So what we are planning can be done for every single state, almost every single state in the country. Andhra Pradesh is the 8th largest state, 4% of total population of India at 50 million. It has $100 billion US GDP, second largest coastline of 974 kilometers, 14 ports, existing 6, 8 more to be added in 15 years, 12 airports by 2026 as of now. Andhra Pradesh is growing at 11.99%, 10.99% as against 7.6 actually of India. We are planning to have a growth rate of at least 10% and above for the next 2 decades. It's statistically proved that if a country can have a sustained double-digit growth for about 2 decades, that country will certainly become a developed country. Andhra Pradesh is number 1 in the world, in India, in mango, tomato, chilies, papaya, etc., and marine products. It has large number of industrial corridors, number of mining resources. It's second in overall ease of doing business. This is something very, very important because India is ranked abysmally. It was ranked at 142. Now it is 131 in the world in ease of doing business. It's a target of Government of India to bring it down to less than 100, and maybe in the next 5, 6 years to less than 50. If we can have our ranking in the top 50 in the world, we'll find huge amount of investments pouring. Ease of doing business is something which is very, very important to attract investments. We are trying to do this in a big way in our state. And education-wise, AP, we have really given a lot of importance to uh, having centers of excellence and also skill development. And we are actually going truly global. We are inviting every major university and school in the world to come and set up their institution in our state. We want our state to be a global state, not a local state. We want to believe in the Indian dictum, Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. The world is one big family. So we believe in the dictum. We want to have our state to be a truly international global state. Skill development, yes, it is very critical for our entire country, not only our state, because all of us know we are lagging behind in most of the practical skills required by the industry. Infrastructure-wise, we are doing a lot of work on infrastructure. This is very important for every part of the country. In fact, unless we have good infrastructure, we are not going to get investments, we are not going to get employment for youth. We have developed, we are in the process of developing 3 major corridors, industrial corridors in the state. One goes from Chennai to Visakhapatnam. Now, why I am showing this slide, you see how small little creative ideas can bring transformation in society. If you see that Chennai below and on top you have Bhavana Padu, there's one entire line going that's nearly 1,000 kilometers. Now, a couple of us drove down on Highway 1 of California. We enjoyed that beautiful road right on the ocean. We came back to CM and said, sir, why don't we do this? And the gentleman is 65 years old. His mind is as flexible as a 16-year-old. Immediately he started working. He did a lot of research. And believe me, within 6, 7 months, he had made an order for an entire blueprint for the whole road to be developed. To begin with 4-lane, then it will become 8-lane. Then he's also adding a road and also a train. And you will find a fantastic tourism corridor. We'll be ending up creating a Goa on the East Coast, a beautiful tourism sector. And on the other side, you have the industrial corridor. We are linking all this, you find all those deep draft ports we have to the industrial corridors. That will make it a very, very beautiful logistic hub, which will help quickly export and in the import and export process. These are the other corridors we are developing. In fact, the most important thing for our country, as I see today, is twofold. In fact, I was deeply impressed by the presentation by our friend from Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, he spoke about how to bring about transformation among the youth to change, to bring about peace and law and order in J&K. He talked about value-based education, which I feel is absolutely essential. Unless we create a good value-based education, we cannot change our country for the better. Today, I was reading Times of India when I sat in the flight. Believe me, I saw I felt so horribly ashamed, when I read one article. There was one man lying bleeding on the road. 460 and odd cars went by. Nobody helped him, and that man died in this very city called New Delhi. It's shameful. That shows lack of value-based education in our country. Believe me, I'll go back to my own experience. About 25, 30 years back, once I was driving in a car with my friend. We were preparing for the civil service. There was a fellow on the road. He was bleeding. It was late in the night, so we stopped the car. The fellow near him, the scooter falling on the ground. This on the highway. The guy near him said, look here, this man, somebody hit him and went away. And he's going to die, please help him. So we put him in our car at 12 in the night. We went to the hospital. We, in fact, gave 1,000 rupees, whatever money was there in our pocket, to the attender. Please help him. We put him in the ICU, went away. We don't know, I'm sure he would have survived. But we kept him carefully, so carefully we drove till we reached. And 20 years later, my family, they had an accident. Somebody stopped. Luckily, everyone survived, nothing serious. But they took my children right to the hospital and ensured that they were out of danger. See, if you do good, good will come back. That is what I realized that day. So value-based education is the crying need of the hour. Along with that, employment, industrial growth, creating prosperity is equally important. That's the reason I want to emphasize on the economic side of the story. Now, when our state got divided, we had just 8,500 megawatt power. We had serious shortage of power. We used to have 8-hour power cut in the villages and 3 to 4-hour power cut in the cities. The moment Mr. Chandrababu Naidu became CM, first thing he did is went about solving the power problem. He went about on power purchase agreements, and he started implementing certain power projects which were almost in the final stages or closed for certain reasons. Today, we have 13,500 megawatts. We added 5,000 megawatts in just 2 years. And there's not a single minute power cut for more than 1 year in our state now. And we are not stopping there. We are adding 18,000 megawatts more. 10,000 by wind, solar, and 8,000 by wind energy, green energy. So, and we are adding many other, 2 nuclear power plants are coming, Russia and US. We are going to go beyond 40,000 megawatts. And we'll not only be power surplus for generations, we'll also be ensuring all our neighboring states will be power surplus. That's the kind of strategy we're following. Every state in India can do this. It's not just our state. Then tourism also, we are giving a huge importance to tourism, different sectors because tourism is a money spinner. In coming days, thanks to technofacturing, etc., services is a major area. All the youth have to realize that services is one sector which is going to be a major employer. I think this is one side, we don't want to, we can't underemphasize this area to promote tourism. In our state, in our country, there are beautiful places. Country is beautifully endowed with rich natural resources and mountains, beaches. We must exploit them for tourism. There are various other urban infrastructure we are coming through. And the important thing is greenfield capital city of Amaravati. When we were divided, we were virtually thrown out on the roads. Believe me, when they divided Telangana and Andhra Pradesh into 2 states, we were virtually thrown with our clothes, nothing else, on the road. See, we had a 15,000 crores deficit. We didn't have a capital. We didn't have money. We didn't have money to pay salaries. It was a horrible situation. But just imagine, this is also very critical to all of you, particularly youth. What I found in my chief minister, he's highly positive-minded. He never negative-minded. He sees opportunity in every crisis. He thinks solutions, not problems. If there's a problem, he'll ask, what is the solution? Next question, he won't ask, what is the problem? Don't discuss the problem, tell me the solution. For every problem, there's a solution. Because of one positive mind, today, our state is completely transformed for the better. Today, we are brimming with confidence. In fact, I had lunch with CEO of Invest India. He said that at the highest levels in the country, they're asking how come so many investments are going into your state? This is a discussion they had in the Prime Minister's office. Why this is happening? A state from zero, we have become, I'm sure it will grow very well. But why? Because of optimism, positive thinking, and problem-solving mentality. So we are building in such a place, one of the finest capitals in the world. We are building, on a 55,000-acre land, a state-of-the-art smart city with Internet of Things, with the latest technologies in the world. If you talk about smart city in the world, this will be number 1. Again, I'll explain in 2 minutes how positive mind can help. See, we didn't have money for capital. No money at all, zero. And we acquired 33,000 acres from the farmers without 1 rupee. We are building a capital, believe me, you will laugh if I tell you, without any money. And a capital today, Mr. David Cameron, when Mr. Narendra Modi went to UK, he made a request to him, to great surprise of all of us, that UK government wants to partner in developing Amaravati. Our CM came to know through the TV, tickers. That was some prime minister of some country says he wants to develop one capital in. See, this is the way it got the buzz. We are having Singapore working with us, China working with us. So many countries are coming forward to build this capital. Now this 33,000 acre, we made it a complete win-win. Farmers, we have taken land from them. In return, we are giving back 1,400 yards of developed land. We are taking care of all 20 years what they earn as agriculture income. We are repaying in 10 years. And we are giving us various benefits. We have done, and door to door this was gone and explained to everybody, right from officers, ministers, everybody. It was land taken with a lot of love and affection, no force at all. 33,000 acres never happened in history of India. And when the Honorable PM came to lay the foundation, I was witness. We had kept 60,000 chairs for farmers. More than 2 lakh people turned up, farmers. And they're cheering, clapping. 4 hours they sat, and the happiness was unbelievable. Anyway, we are going to have a world-class infrastructure, walk to work, cycling tracks everywhere, and completely state-of-the-art green energy, smart energy, smart waste disposal, smart water systems. And it's going to be a blue-green capital with more than 40% for water and greenery. We are building canals like Amsterdam and Venice, and those canals will have beautiful architectures from different parts of the world, beautiful buildings coming, 30 kilometers of riverfront, entire thing we are developing it, something like Paris, or, going to make a beautiful architecture all through. Every building which is coming up, we are making it iconic building. It's already, we have got investments committed of more than 40,000 crores in that one city. We are going to have India's biggest convention center on an empty piece of land. So much of promises come, unbelievable. India, Dr. Shetty from NMC Group Abu Dhabi is doing a 10,000-seater convention. Within 2 years, is going to complete. We already have 5 universities coming. We have 7,000 beds already committed, state-of-the-art hospitals beds. Whereas entire Hyderabad in 400 years could have only 10,000, of which maybe 1,000 could be state-of-art. We are going to have more than 10,000 state-of-the-art in the next 7 to 8 years. Anyway, now there are a number of other things. This city is being developed in different parts: education city, sports city, and entertainment city, tourism city. We are going to make it a very, very holistic living for the entire population. And this is the journey of Amaravati. Within 2 years, we are already now starting the entire, if you see the architecture, everything, this is all completely, we are going global again. We are getting the best people across the world to do it. This is how India should be. In fact, Japan, we are partnering not only in SPV, the Marquee Associates of Japan has been selected as a chief architect for the phase 1 government buildings through a global process. Government of Singapore is working with us, United Kingdom, the World Bank, now Malaysia is coming forward. If you see all these consultants, everybody, they're all internationally among the best people who have been selected for this. So, in 6 months' time, we have completed now actually it is not 6 lakhs, about 12 lakh square feet we have done. We have added 6 lakh more. By October or so, entire temporary capital is already in place. Entire 15,000 employees are going to start working from October. There are various other things, because of lack of time, I don't want to go too much into all these things. Outer Ring Road, we are developing 210 kilometers. It will have 1 crore people living, and 8 municipalities all around. It will be probably the world's biggest outer ring road. And entire outer ring road, 10 crore, 1 crore, that entire area, we are going to have a beautiful master plan which will make it one of the most beautiful capital regions in the world. There are various other things. For lack of time, I don't want to go further into the details. But all I want to say is, while we want to develop the best city in India and one of the best in the world, we have a hidden agenda. We want this to be a model for the rest of the country. When Mr. Naidu started e-governance in 1997, all the e-payments, etc., today many states have done much better, including Gujarat. Same thing, we want far better cities than Amaravati to come up in the coming years. That's where India, that's how we develop India. We set up a benchmark. We want far, far better cities than this to come up in the future. Before I conclude, I want to just add a few things more, just a 2 minutes more I'll take. Today, women's empowerment is a very, very important thing for our state. Right from beginning, if you see, right from earlier when our CM was in power, he has given a lot of importance to self-help groups. Women, we have, even till today, we had the world's biggest number of self-help groups way back in 2000. Even till today, we are number one in the country in self-help groups. And we have a women empowerment corporation in the state. A lot of emphasis is given for empowering women. Our CM is extraordinarily strict that there should not be any incidents of any kind of violence against women. And is intolerant in this, absolutely intolerant. If he comes across whoever he may be, he will not spare him. And he is also very keen that women should come forward, get educated, take up positions. In fact, in our own economic development board, the youngsters, the women, the girls, they outnumber the guys. And they're doing extremely well, extraordinarily well. And so there's a lot of potential for, as far as especially for women in the country is concerned, we need to harness, we need to respect them, we need to harness their creativity, their talents for the national development. And before I conclude, just two more things I want to say what we are doing in the state, which will be of interest to you, all of you. We are putting the entire e-governance in one platform. See, what we are doing, something nowhere in the world probably it has been done. All the services of the government we are putting on e-platform. 1.5 years from today, about 240 services of the government, you can sit at home and download your caste certificate, your birth certificate, marriage certificate, income certificate, property documents, encumbrance certificate, anything. So idea is that you don't need to go to a government office. So what it implies is elimination to a large extent of corruption and improving the quality of life of the people. So this we have done. In fact, we are going full speed in this. We have the help of Mr. John Chambers from Cisco is working actively with us, without any pro bono is working for us. And another important thing, what we are almost completing it now, we have put a fiber net to all the houses in the state. We are going to have about 97-98% of population connected with a fiber optic cable by this October or November. It will be launched, and it will give 15 Mbps of internet, plus three telephone lines capable of video conferencing, and 100 television channels, all for less than about $2, 149 rupees. That means what it implies is we are going to bring up an entire generation of youngsters who will be tech savvy. Among this underprivileged, we are going to give free tablets. There are a lot more if I have to tell them, it will go on and on, but I don't want to bore you further. But all I want to say is that in our own way, AP, we are trying to do as good as possible for our state. And we hope not the rest of the country not only takes up the good things, but does much, much better than us. And our country becomes a glorious country which will contribute to the welfare of the people. And last but not the least, on the education front, we have 179,000 engineers passing out of our schools, our engineering colleges. We have nearly 46,500 MBAs. We have about 12,000 pharmacy graduates. And having said this, all that it's experience worldwide, but not India-wide, that our skill sets are not equal to the market. So we realize that now we are in the process of taking a hard look at our syllabus, making it contemporary. The syllabus we want it to be making contemporary so that those who are passing out will be immediately they can come and start working in the field rather than finding themselves totally out of sync with the reality. So this is one big challenge. We are working very hard. We are taking the help of, we have approached University of Cambridge, some of the best institutions and some of the best consultants who are working with us to bring these changes. We want to also take up with Government of India also in this, where they are concerned, to make all our syllabus contemporary. We want to create ecosystem. We know it's a challenge. It'll take 10 years, doesn't matter. But we want our students, when they come out, they should not be anything lesser than students of Stanford University or Harvard or any of these best institutions. That is what we are aiming for. And thank you very much to all of you for patiently listening to me. And Mr. Kemka, wonderful work your foundation and all of you are doing. And I wish the God's good blessings be on all of you to continue to do this good work in the service of our world at large. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Your presentation reflects the new hope that our country must embody. It best encapsulates these two lines, and forgive me, I'm going to take this opportunity to say two lines in Hindi, but it best encapsulates these two lines that I once read, that प्रदेश की असली उड़ान अभी बाकी है, सपनों की पहचान अभी बाकी है, नापी है 2 गज ज़मीं हमने, सारा आसमान अभी बाकी है, नापी है 2 गज ज़मीं हमने, सारा आसमान अभी बाकी है. And we hope that all other states in the country and the country as a whole takes inspiration from the great work that you're doing. And together we can move shoulder by shoulder in this journey of progress. Please accept a token of our appreciation.
tGELF, leading the change.